They say we're living in the best time in history, technology at our fingertips, more choices than ever, opportunities our ancestors could only dream of. And yet, something feels missing. Why does it all feel so empty? Imagine walking into a supermarket. You're surrounded by hundreds of cereal boxes, chocolate-flavored, gluten-free, organic, sugar-loaded, oat-based, keto-approved. At first glance, it feels empowering. So many choices, so much freedom. But stop and ask yourself, who decided these were the cereals you could choose from? You didn't grow the grains. You didn't design the packaging. You didn't even question whether cereal was the best way to start your day. You just walked in and chose from what was already chosen for you. This is the modern illusion of freedom. We're told we live in a world of endless possibilities, that we can be anyone, do anything, live however we want. But in reality, the freedom we're sold is more like a children's menu, colorful, limited, pre-approved. Your career? Sure, you can choose, but only from options the system deems profitable. Want to be a poet? Go ahead. But can you survive without monetizing your art? The system whispers, be who you want to be, as long as it makes money. Even your opinions are boxed in. Say what you want, until it makes others uncomfortable, until it challenges the structure. This is the Overton window, the narrow range of acceptable ideas. It's painted beautifully, framed like a gift. But step outside it, and the illusion cracks. We confuse variety with freedom. But freedom isn't about having 50 brands of toothpaste. It's about being able to ask, why is toothpaste a billion-dollar industry to begin with? It's about questioning the very need, not just choosing the flavor. Think about social media. It promises you a platform, a voice, a place to be yourself. But that voice is filtered through algorithms, engineered to reward outrage, conformity, and superficiality. Say something real. You might get buried. Post something trendy. You just might go viral. It's not expression, it's performance. Even rebellion is marketed now. Want to feel like a nonconformist? Great. There's a brand for that. A hoodie, a playlist, an aesthetic, a hashtag. Modern rebellion looks more like a marketing campaign than a movement. And that's the most dangerous part of this illusion. You feel like you're free. You walk through life thinking you're in control, never realizing the lanes were drawn long before you arrived, and the illusion. It works so well because it rewards you just enough dopamine, just enough likes, just enough success to keep you from asking, wait, is this really freedom? Welcome to the productivity trap, a world where your value is measured by your output, where busyness is a badge of honor, where sleep deprivation is romanticized, where even rest has to be productive. We chase goals not because they fulfill us, but because we're terrified of falling behind. Since childhood, we've been conditioned. More doing equals more value. More achievement equals more love. But this isn't truth. It's repetition. And the more insecure you feel, the more productive you try to be. We buy planners, apps, hustle harder, hoping one more success will finally bring peace. But peace never comes. Because the bar keeps moving. Because productivity culture isn't empowerment, it's slavery dressed as ambition. Even leisure has been hijacked. Read a book. Make it educational. Go for a walk. Track your steps. Sit and do nothing. You'd better rebrand it as mindful stillness. But here's the truth. You are not a machine. You were never meant to operate at 100% efficiency. All the time. Nature doesn't bloom all year. Why should you? Sometimes the most radical act in a world obsessed with hustle is doing nothing on purpose. Let that be your rebellion. Ask yourself, who are you? We answer with roles, titles, labels. I'm a student, a parent, a manager, a creative. But are those really you? Or just uniforms you were handed? From the moment we're born, we're shaped. Gender, culture, praise, punishment. We learn to become acceptable. We learn to perform. And somewhere along the way, we forget who we really are. We confuse identity with content. Every photo, every status, every story is a performance, not a life. And over time, we lose track of what's real. Try this. Sit in silence. Ask, if no one was watching, what would I still care about? That's where your real identity lives. Not in your job, not in your bio, but in your unfiltered truth. You were never meant to be a brand. You were meant to be human. We love comfort. One-click everything. No waiting, no friction. But comfort can be a cage. Comfort dulls our edges. Comfort numbs. Why grow when you can scroll? Why feel when you can binge? Why fight when the couch is too soft and the screen too bright? This is how the system works. Comfort equals control. A comfortable population is a compliant one, less likely to question, less likely to wake up. So no, comfort isn't evil. But unquestioned comfort, that's a slow anesthetic. It lulls you to sleep, while your real life waits just outside your window. The antidote? Choose discomfort. Deliberately. Do hard things, not to win, but to remember you can. Because real life, the raw, vibrant, unpredictable kind, lives just beyond the edge of comfort. And maybe the life you're truly meant for is hiding in the place you've been avoiding most. At some point, in the stillness, you'll feel it. That quiet question, is this really me? When you hear that voice, don't silence it. Listen, because that is where your real freedom begins. Most people never stop to ask, what if the life I'm living isn't really mine? Not because they're weak, but because they're exhausted, distracted, number. And in this world, numbness is survival. But numbness isn't freedom. It's a prison with invisible bars. You don't need another app. You don't need more motivation. You don't even need to escape to the mountains. What you need is presence, honesty, and the courage to see the system for what it is and still choose to live awake. Start small. Sit with your discomfort. Watch how your fingers itch to reach for your phone. Notice how silence feels awkward, then stay there. That's the threshold. That's where the noise ends, and you begin. Because underneath all the programming, all the pressure, all the pretending, is a self that remembers. Remembers joy without validation, stillness without guilt, love without performance. You don't have to chase meaning. You only have to clear the clutter that hides it. Because meaning isn't something you find. It's something you return to, something you already are. So if you feel tired, disillusioned, disconnected, you're not broken. You're waking up. And that is the beginning of freedom. Not the kind sold to you in ads, not the kind granted by society, but the kind that can't be bought, the kind that lives deep inside the soul, quiet, patient, and waiting for you. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone you care about, because sometimes the most powerful change